welcome to my kitchen. My name is Luann Pygott, and I am going to make some lunch, some Sunday dinner today. So I am going to start off with some potatoes. Now look, I bought this new little thing at Walgreens. Look, it's a chopper. Let's try the chopper. The only thing is it doesn't stand up. Look, it's stupid. It doesn't stand up. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, so let me get my peeler and a knife. Let's peel these potatoes. I need something to peel it in. And I've got some water over here starting to boil. Let's just use one of these bags. I'm going to put my peeling in the bag, and then I'm going to peel these potatoes. So I'm probably just going to use like 5 potatoes today. And I'm going to make mashed potatoes. All I do is cut them up and boil them for like 10 minutes in salted water. Nothing to the mashed potatoes. Then we're going to make pepper steak. It is so good, so quick and easy as well. So let's go ahead and get these going. You can hear that water starting to make noise over there. So even though we are not getting old tropical storm or depression or whatever he is, Fred, we are getting the tail side of him over there. And it's raining. Yay. Yay. That's so aggravating. Okay, so here's one. This one has some spots on it. We'll just peel those away. There we go. I love mashed potatoes. I could just eat mashed potatoes. Just give me the mashed potatoes. I'm not even doing this in the right spot. I want to do it in the bag. I'm doing it on here. Just that in a minute. Okay, there we go. Now let's go over here and do this. So I'm making the whole meal this morning rather than any of it the night before, as I'm going to make a cobbler, and it's so good when it's warm. Oh, it's so good. So I didn't do that the night before either. And it's really easy. I prefer a cobbler that has a sweeter cake part. Some cobblers, I never thought I liked cobbler, because I would eat it like, yeah, I don't like it. And I figured out why, because I had a cobbler in a restaurant one time that was complimentary with the dinner. And I thought, well, it's free, and I'm not going to throw it away. Let's see if I like it. And oh my goodness, I just loved it. And I'm like, okay, why have I not liked cobbler before? And why do I like this one? And the reason was, first of all, it had more fruit in it than you usually get. And it was a sweeter kind of cake part. It wasn't, sometimes cobbler to me tastes just like bread or biscuits or something. It doesn't seem very sweet, and I don't like it. But this recipe that I found is the best cobbler recipe. It tastes just like the one they used in the restaurant. I don't know if it was, but it tastes just like it. And then I double the amount of fruit, it says, because I like it with a lot of fruit. Hope you're having a good Sunday today. Go take this food to my parents, which means I have to drive in the rain. Yay, I hope it's done raining by the time I have to go. I sure hope so. Okay, there's 3. I've got a couple more to go. Now we're going to try this little chopper and see if this is worth anything. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It kind of was in a big box, and I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of weeny. A weeny little chopper. All right, guess that's fine. Let's see how it does. So my water is boiling, but I'm not ready, so I turned it down. Taking me all day to peel potatoes. Sometimes I do this the night before too, but I thought, yeah, I don't want to. I want to go to bed. So I didn't do it yesterday. I did a lot of stuff yesterday though. I chopped my vegetables, I chopped the celery, I chopped the stuff that goes in the pepper steak. I chopped the pepper. So I did get a lot of stuff chopped, just not potatoes. One more. Then we should be able to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to mash these with my potato ricer. I don't know if you've ever used a potato ricer. It makes the smoothest mashed potatoes. It won't have a single lump in it. It can't because you push it through this little sieve. And you don't even need a mixer. You just, after you push it through, they use a spoon and stir it and they're mashed. Really the best way. I saw that on a cooking show one time. And I'm like, she was saying this is the best way to do mashed potatoes. And I thought, well, is it? I've never even tried that. So I got one, and she was right. It was the best way. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this little chopper and see. So I think I'm just going to cut off a chunk of potato. Put it in here and smash it. Let's try that. I wonder if I guess I have it in there right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's sharp. Very easy. Uh-oh. That one doesn't want to go. All right, it was easy the first time. Now, I don't think I got it in the right spot. That spot right there, it's hitting the edge. There you go. Where do I go? Go! Maybe I need to be a little more forceful. I don't know. There, let's prop it up. Maybe it was too thick. Don't know about that either. I wonder if I'm going to end up tearing this up. The first piece was like lickety-split. There we go. The rest was like, eh. Okay, so now that's full already. That was fast to be full, wasn't it? So let's take this out. The thing is, I don't want it. Here, let's put it in this bowl. I don't want to put it in batches, so I want to do it. There. Okay. We got to put it all back together again. There we go. Yeah, I really don't like this falling down a little bit here. Okay, let's try this. It does work, but when you get to this bigger piece, let's just cut the piece in half. It doesn't like the bigger piece. Yeah, that's it. It needs to be a little smaller. That was just too big. Okay. Smaller piece is much faster. But I will tell you, this is a nuisance. You do one potato and you got to empty it. I guess I could do it without the bottom part. Okay. Okay, here we go. I got this at Walgreens. Pretty much like it. You do need a little strength here. Alright, what's the problem with this one? Come on. I don't get it. Like, why isn't it pushing it? Huh. It spread the little tines apart. Why did it do that? Like the blades, it spread the blades apart. I don't know why it did that. Oops. Now I gotta get it out of here. So is this worth it or not? I'm not too sure right now. Let's see if I can get the rest of it. There we go. Weird thing, yeah. There. Maybe it just is too thick. I don't know. Oh, here it goes again. See, then once it does that, I'm stuck with it. I need something to push it down with. What can I use? There. There. Alright. You sure are having an issue. And what is this? It's like something loose on here. Hold on. Like little loose little metallic parts. That's weird. I hope that's not in my food. I don't see it. Okay. I don't know about this. I'm just going to make it not so thick. Maybe that's the problem. Oh, now. Okay, let's put this batch in here. Oh, yeah, see, there's a little piece of that in there. That's weird. Have any more? No, just a little piece. Okay. I have 2 to go. I really kind of wanted it thicker, but I guess I'm not going to get it that way. Oops. All right, let's do it thinner. Well, there's that. There we go. See if it'll be a little faster. Without causing problems. Seems to be. That one was actually somehow thicker. So is this faster? Does it seem faster? It does kind of seem like it. All right, one more. We got one more to go, and then we're going to boil these. Which actually are pretty small. Okay, one more time. I don't know what these little pieces that came off are. Like part of the metal came off or something. Like it had a coating on it. That's very strange. Our water is boiling. I don't know if you can hear that noise. Ready to go. Okay, so then I do need to chop. My onion is the only other thing I got to chop. Look at this. This is pretty quick if we don't do big pieces. Don't do big pieces. It's pretty good. Okay. Let's pull this out. I'm probably going to read the directions to find out I'm doing it all wrong. Oh my God, I don't have time to read directions. I got to go. I'm going to get rid of that and that. Okay, here we go. Into our pot over here of salted water. Ow, woo, it's splashing on me. Hot, hot, hot. So very hot. Okay, there we go. Oh, woo, yep, it's splashing on me. Alright, then, let's take this bowl and rinse it out. So I can reuse it. Oops. Well, I guess it wasn't to jump on the floor. Alright, let me wash it again. Look down there better. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So, now let's do the onion, I guess. Well, let us do that. So I'm going to have onion in a pepper steak and onion in a squash that I'm also milking. And we're going to make, let's see, which side we do next? Well, I think I'll do the pepper steak and then the squash. Try it that way. Get all the potato out of this. I wonder if it'd work better if I just did just the one. Let's see what that does. Instead of the cross one, let's try it just the one chopped down. Okay. I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but I do. Good morning. How are you doing? All right, let's take this onion. This onion is wanting to start to grow here. Take off the peel. See if we can't chop this up. Take off part of it here. that part out. There we go. Come on, out. Wonder if it's really any faster to use this chopper. I really am not. I'm not convinced. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Just gotta get this peel off. There we go. Yep, we can look at that. It's kind of already like in pieces. Look at that. Well, this onion's like falling into pieces. This is actually easier to chop than the potato. Let's try this. I really like it for the onion, I think. Yep. Oh, lost that piece. Look at that. Oh, love that for onion. Oh, yeah. Potato's a little harder. Of course, I took out the cross piece and just did it one way, but that's okay. All right, there we go. So, we're now going to take our pan and our pepper steak. Now, what I use, you can use whatever you want. I think it calls, let's see what's the recipe say. The recipe says, oh, I didn't set my timer. Let's set the timer. The recipe says, I'm going to turn it down too. Chuck or round steak. But I always get this stuff that looks like it's made for fajitas, just because it's already mostly cut. And it's perfectly good. Oh, we're about to boil over and I just turned it down. Okay, we'll turn it down some more. So I get this right here. Top round for stir fry or fajita. That's what I always get because it's already cut. But I do go ahead and cut it more and make it not so long. Because I like to make it bite-sized. I don't want to have to cut it while you're eating it. So as you see, it's already trimmed fat and it's already like cut in strips. So much easier. So then, what I'm going to do before I cut that is I'm going to take, okay, my recipe is here. I need a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. You can use the reduced sodium if you want, or regular. I've always used the regular. Quite frankly, because I like salt. I like the salt. And then you're going to put a 1/4 cup of this in here. All right, that thing is wanting to bubble out again. Stop. I'll just lift the lid. Okay, 1/4 cup. Then you're going to add, you can add a clove of garlic, and you can add a teaspoon of ground ginger, or 1½ teaspoons of fresh. Okay, so there's my 1/4 cup of soy sauce. That's what makes this taste good, is that soy sauce. That's what makes this dish. Alright, so I'm going to add, what did I say, a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. I don't usually put garlic cloves in it because I don't really like a lot of garlic, but I do put garlic pepper in it. So it gives it a little bit of garlic, but not a whole lot of garlic. But if you want to put a clove of garlic in it, you go ahead. But I'm going to put this, like 1/2 teaspoon of garlic pepper, I think. Okay, let me put that up. Ginger also helps you with digestion. There's garlic pepper. Let me shake this up a little bit. The dampness gets to this sometimes and it packs down. So it's a mix of garlic and black pepper. It's really good, actually. To me, it doesn't taste too strongly garlicky. All right, and I like it. So there's that. Then I'm going to take, let's take my whisk. Let's stir this up. And then you're going to marinate your meat in it. You only need to do it for like 5 minutes. It's real quick. not long. So I'm going to take the meat and my knife that I lost. Seriously, potatoes, stop bubbling out of the pan. Okay, so there we go. It's that kind of bite size. And then I just drop them in there, into that. Let's see how easy this is to trim because it's kind of already done. Just cut it shorter. You can leave it long if you want to. It's just harder to eat. But it's supposed to be a pound. I think this is a little more than a pound, but that's okay. Whatever comes in the package. What does it say? It's a 1 1/3 pounds. It'll be fine. You can go a little extra. Still, I had it frozen because I bought this last week. Still got little bits of it here. It's a little cold. Let me go to the other end, which will still work, but I got to be able to cut it. I just cut all of that one big chunk. Oh, I just dropped a piece. How'd you do that? Let me wash it off. Okay, one more cut here. If I can get this broken up. There. Cut this one. All these pieces. And it looks like it's not going to be enough soy sauce, but it will be. Could add more if you wanted, I guess, but you really don't need to. Even though this is extra meat, it'll be fine. Okay, so then I'm going to need for this a 1/4 cup of oil in your pan. And I don't know if I don't usually do that much. I just put some oil in the pan. I just put a little oil in the pan. Up to a 1/4 cup, let's put it that way. I don't usually measure it. I just put oil in the pan. And then we're going to do a cup of, it says a cup of green onion. I don't have any green onions, so I'm just using the sweet onion. I just use any onion. Cup of onion. Which I'm not going to have quite a cup because I'm going to use some of that for my squash. Okay, so then you're going to have, it says 2 stalks of celery, a cup of red or green peppers, so you can use it mixed. Oh, and then I got to get my cornstarch out too, and my water. I'm going to run the water through the filter. Let me find my cornstarch. Where are you? I meant to find this ahead of time. Here it is. Meant to get that out and forgot that one. All right, so then what I'm going to do here is take a spoon and stir this meat around so it gets coated in the soy sauce. And I actually, because this meat, I like to simmer this meat for half an hour so it gets tender. And I don't want the vegetables, they only need to cook for about 5-10 minutes or they get too soggy. And so I'm actually going to put the meat in there to cook. And then, here, let's turn this around. Over there, oh, you can't even see it. Way over there, see, that's my pan. Let me turn this on, put some oil in here, and you want it pretty hot, like medium hot. And you can stir fry this if you have like a wok. I don't know if people even have woks anymore. But if you have one, you can stir fry if you want. And there, my potatoes are almost done. So we're going to do those potatoes here in a minute. My whole contraption here likes to want to full. So I'm going to also turn on this burner. And I'm going to put onion. Or not onion. I'm going to put butter in the pan. Okay, let me wash my knife so I can use it again. Okay, here's my butter. Butter for the vegetables. I don't measure it. That's like 2 or 3 tablespoons. I'm going to take these vegetables, also put them in there. So I'm just waiting for that oil to heat up in the other pan. I'm trying to open this bag I put a knot in. Okay, potatoes should be done. Let's turn that off. All right, let's get these vegetables ready. Let's turn that up for a minute. So I'm just washing these vegetables off real quick, because I didn't do that yesterday. There we go. Let me drain off the water. Let me move some of this other stuff in here. Hold on. Okay, there's that. So then I'm going to get a strainer for the potatoes. And I'm just going to put them over here and strain them. Drain the water. Oh, they're going to be so good. You can also make this pepper steak and serve it over rice. So you can serve it over rice or potatoes. They're both really good. Okay, so let's leave that there. I'm also going to put the rest of that butter. There's another couple tablespoons in that pan to go with the mashed potatoes. Okay, so let me, now we should probably be hot back there with the old skillet. That skillet back there. Wonder if I can prop that up where you can see what I'm doing. I need something to put up under it that won't fall over. I don't know if I have that. What about this? Let's try this. Hold on. Hold down. Oh, there you go. Okay, now you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on for a minute. It's going to go crazy with the smoke. I'm going to put all of this meat and the sauce in the pan, except for that piece that got away. I'm going to grab that piece that got away, click it in too. Now it'll really cool down quickly because that meat is cold, so I'm turning it up on high for a minute. So then I'm going to let that simmer for a minute there. I'm going to take, I forgot to put my water through the strainer. Let me do that real fast. I need 1.5 cups of water. Now, I make more gravy than it says to make. It says 1 cup of water, but I use 1.5 cups because I like some broth. Give me some broth. All right, so then my other thing over here going, that you see right there, I'm going to put some of this onion in that for my squash. Then I'm going to put the squash in there. This has actually squash, zucchini, and carrots. All three, because I love those three together. The carrots make it just a little sweeter. Okay, we got some of them stuck in here. Hold on. Just turn it wrong side out and we'll get them out. And it makes such a pretty vegetable mix, too, with all those colors. And then you get a little bit of green. Okay, so let me take another spoon. Let's use this one. I love a lot of pepper on squash. I don't like pepper necessarily on everything, but I love it on squash for some reason. And salt. So there's salt. And oh, there's my pepper. Lots of pepper. And I'm just going to let that simmer. Okay, so then I got my water. So what I'm doing here is kind of trying to brown all the sides of the meat a little bit. Stir that around, get it to brown, and then I'm going to put some water and cornstarch in it, which will make a nice thick gravy. let it simmer. Well, I'm gonna let it simmer for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna add the other vegetables, and then let it finish on out for the other like 10 more minutes. So that'll be a half an hour. All right, let me turn this back up as well. So I got the butter melted in there. Okay, so let's go do our potatoes. Let me maybe pull these over here. Some potatoes. I'm going to show you. Whoops, there it fell again. Let me turn this back around. Ooh, we got everything just a sizzling. Okay, here's our potatoes. Actually, I am going to turn it back around this way so you can see this pan, because that's where I'm going, right there. All right, so let's take this. Is my water done? Filtering, almost. Okay, in a measuring cup for 1.5 cups of water. Okay, there's 1.5 cups of water. Can you see that? Yeah, kind of. Okay. And then I'm going to put in there, where's my measuring, my recipe? 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch in the water. This is a 1.5 tablespoon measuring spoon. Okay. Then I'm going to just stir that together, get it to dissolve. Then I'm going to stir this around a little bit. So the thing is, you want this meat to be tender, and it isn't really all that tender by itself. So what you're going to do is simmer it for half an hour. It's going to be tender. So I'm going to add this cornstarch and water mix to all of this. If I wasn't simmering it to make it tender, I would already have the vegetables in here. But I don't want to cook them to death, because then they're a little mushy. So I'm going to let that simmer for like 20 minutes. But let's bring it to a boil. And I got my squash over here going to town. I need another lid, and you know, somewhere I had another lid. I don't know where that other lid went. If I have it out here. Let me see if I have it in the cabinet. If I can find another big lid. I just need a big lid. No, this pan. Let's see the pan in the lid. That's good. How about this lid? Perfect. Okay. It works. There's my lid from a squash. Okay, let's turn that down a little. Alright, so my butter is melted, even though I do not even have that burner on anymore. Okay, so this is now bubbling, so I'm going to turn it down, set it for 20 minutes. You just want it to barely simmer. Alright, there's that lid. So none of these lids go with these pans. They didn't come with pans. So I have like these make-do lids. I mean, they didn't come with lids. These pans did not come with lids. So, we find something that make it work. So here's my ricer. So what you do is you open this up, and it has like this little, see, holy thing in the bottom, holy part. And then you're going to put your potatoes in there, and you're just going to smash them through. Your cooked potatoes, by the way. So I'm putting some in there. And this is, all you do is, this all comes apart. You pull it all apart and rinse it off. So it's not that hard to clean. And it just makes so much better mashed potatoes. Okay, so here you go. So then you're going to flap down that little part. It's like got a smasher lid. And then you're going to squeeze the things together, and it's going to squish out the other end. And you have mashed potatoes. And it looks like, it kind of makes them look like sort of a noodle, but it really isn't. It's really completely smashed. Because I thought, ooh, they're going to kind of be grainy or something. They are not at all. They are completely mashed. Okay, so here's this. And then you just add some milk and stir it with a spoon. You don't even have to do, and I've got butter in there already. You don't even have to use a mixer at all, and it's real easy. You squeeze it together. Okay. It's a little top heavy also. Let's just move that out of the way. There we go. So I'm just spooning in the potatoes to kind of, you know, fill it about 3/4 of the way up, so you got room to put this little thing down in it. That thing right there, and then you just squeeze the handles together, and there you go. This is also really fun. You have some older kids, even some, it just depends on how tough they are, how well they can squeeze. They probably like to do this. It's like those little things where you made Play-Doh. You remember those things? You squeeze the Play-Doh through the little thing, and it squished out the end just exactly like that. It's like a big Play-Doh squeezer. Remember that thing? You would push that little handle down, and all the little worm potatoes, not potatoes, the little worm-looking Play-Doh would squeeze out the end. This is just exactly what this is. Okay. There we go. Here we are. Are you ready? And there it goes, just like Play-Doh. Then, take that off the bottom. And you want to go ahead and clean this fairly quickly so it doesn't dry on here. If you let it dry, you know, if you let starch dry on something, it's very hard to clean. So I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to take now my milk, and I never measure this. You know, I just pour it in and stir till it looks like it's good. So here we go. Pour it in. I don't know, what's that? 1/4 cup or something probably. This is 5 potatoes, and these are russet potatoes. I love russet potatoes. But whatever works for you, whatever makes good mashed potatoes. Look, I just stir it and it's mashed potatoes. I think I might put a little more milk so they're not real thick. Almost maybe 1/3 cup of milk or something total. I am stirring this a little funny with a spoon because my hand's hurting. Okay. Alright, let's taste it and see how. A little bit more milk. And they need salt. Now you don't want them too salty because that pepper steak stuff is salty because of the soy sauce. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Now let's try it. Yummy. Now, I think I'm actually going to put them in a smaller pan, except I lost my smaller pan. Oh, there it is. Behind the bag. Just because I need the big pan to stir, but to go to my parents' house, I need some smaller stuff to carry, so I got to carry all this. I actually got myself a little cart now that I found at Aldi. It's like 20 bucks. It's like a little, what they call a hand truck. And it collapses and folds and goes and go in your car. And I have to put like a box on it. Oh yeah, this is working perfect. Put a box on it to carry my stuff and strap the box on. But woo, has it been a relief to have that. Okay, here we go. So there's, yeah, this is working great in this size pan. You just wouldn't have been able to stir it in that, so. This is a good carrying across town pan. Oops. Okay, I'm going to put water in this pan and put this ricer in there so it doesn't get, so it can soak in the water for a minute. Get that stir. Loosen it up. Okay, now, get that out of the way. done with our milk. Gotta get that strainer over there too. Let's put on my lid. So I have the rest of the onion. See how much time do I have? Oh, it says I have 14 minutes. Well, let's go. We gotta make our cobbler. So that's what we're gonna do. I need this pan for the cobbler. So let me get this stuff out of the way real quick. I know this is real exciting watching the stove. That's not any better, is it? Oh well. Anyways, I'm over here cleaning for a second. So I can have room in the sink. And I need this pan for the cobbler. So, when I make this cobbler, I've always made it with fresh fruit. Today, we're using fruit. I think it's just as going to be just as good. And it's going to be so much easier. Yes, I'm already ready for you. So, I'm going to make a peach and blueberry mix cobbler. Oh, yeah. That'll be so good. You can put almost any fruit you want in it. You want to make this. Whatever you like. It's just got to be. Now, I'm only going to make half the recipe. The full recipe calls for 2 cups of fruit. And I'm telling you, it is much better with 4 cups of fruit. Oh, double the fruit. Double it. Trust me. It's so much better. And you don't need to double the sugar. Just the fruit. Double that sugar, it's going to be, woo, so sweet. So you don't need to double the sugar, just double the fruit. A second here. I'm pulling apart my little ricer. So I get this out of the way. Gotta get all the potato off of it real quick. Alright, there we go. Dry. Now let me wash this pan so I can use it for my cobbler. That was what I was aiming for, to wash this pan. Alright, so I'm only going to make half the cobbler because for the 3 of us, it is fattening. It is fattening. So I'm trying, we're trying to cut down, but we're still going to eat some, right? We're still going to eat some of it. But we're just making a little less. Alright, there's my pan now, all nice and washed. Alright, so let me get my cobbler recipe. Alright, it's over here, my recipe book. Let me mark this where I have that one goes. And find it. Okay, where are you? So I found this searching online. I searched for quite a while until I found a cobbler recipe that I felt actually had enough sugar in it. So if it doesn't have sugar or much sugar in the dough part, I don't like it. So this one has sugar in both the dough part and the fruit. Okay, so here's my recipe. But I'm going to do this in half. So I'm only, it goes in a 9 by 13 pan, but I'm just going to do an 8 by 8 pan since I'm cutting it in half. Let me get that. Sorry, I'm making so much racket here. Okay, there's my pan. Alright, let's flip this on back around here. Here's my pan. Right there. Okay, so then I'm going to do, we're going to melt half a stick of butter in this pan. Now let me find my butter. Come on. Remember, just double this recipe if you want to do the whole recipe. If you're feeding any number of people, you're going to want to do the whole recipe. But that's about, it's just a little bit more, but it's about a 1/4 cup. We're going to use this one. So I'm just going to, it says melt it in the oven, but I'm going to melt it in the microwave because it's faster. There we go. So you're just going to melt your stick of butter. what I'm going to do... Uh-oh, I lost you for a minute. Lost connection. Hopefully it's back today. Okay, so we're going to make a batter. I also got to turn my oven on. What's it go on? 325. Okay, 325. I'm going to bring my batter. Let me see what else I need to do. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm going to need baking powder, flour, and sugar and milk. I wasn't done with my milk, was I? Baking powder, flour, sugar, and milk. It's so simple. It doesn't have eggs in it. My flour, my sugar. Get my milk back out. Let me see my butter melted. It did. So that was 1 minute. I melted that in the microwave. It was perfect. So I'm going to get that out. So then you have this pan of melted butter. Oh yeah, give me a straw. Pan of melted butter. Let me just set that over here. Out of the way. So then, for this, I'm going to add... So I got to remember I'm doing half of what is this. I want half a cup of flour. So this is a 1/4 cup, so let's just do it twice. The one I have in here already. There's half a cup of flour. Then I'm going to do 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That's that one. Let's see, I lost my teaspoon. Here it is. Okay. 3/4 is what I need for half. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Okay, there you go. And then I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Is that what I want? Let me see. Hold on. No, I'm adding half the sugar to this. Half a cup of sugar is all I'm adding to this part. I'm going to add the rest to the fruit. All right, let me make sure. To flour, yes. Okay, half a cup of sugar is going in this amount. Okay, so there you have that. I'm going to take my whisk again. Let me wash the whisk off. Dry my whisk off. And we're going to stir all these together, and then we're going to add 3/8 of a cup of milk for half. That's a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. Oops. So let me get my 1/4 cup thing here. Okay, there's a 1/4 cup of milk. Plus 2 tablespoons. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon. That is also known as 1 ounce, 2 tablespoons. Okay, so then you're going to mix this together. And that's your batter. Like, that is it. Okay, there's our batter. That's what it should look like. Okay. So then, get it off of this. We get a scraper and we're going to scrape it into the pan. Yes, the batter goes in the pan first, on top of this floating butter. So now I'm going to just pour it into here. All through the pan here. You don't really spread it because, you know, the butter's there in the way, so you just kind of try to get it to lay around the pan. This is in my way. There we go. Actually, I recommend don't put it in the corners because it likes to poof up really high at the corners and kind of brown. Don't put it in the corners. It'll get there on its own and you'll have more in the corners than you want. And it doesn't have much fruit in the corner is the problem. So it's kind of the just batter. So don't put it in the corners. Avoid the corners. It's going to get over there and be, like I said, more than what you want it to be. So then I'm going to wash this bowl again. You could use more than one bowl if you'd rather. But my other bowl's dirty, so I'm using the same one again. And then the other ones I have are not the right size. Okay, so let's wash this out again. Get the batter out of it. Okay. Let that drain for a second. Then you're going to add fruit and sugar to it, stir it up, pour it on top of that, and that's it. Put it in the oven. Now it takes 45 minutes in the oven. Now, it tells you for this amount that I'm making that you need a cup of fruit. No, no, no. That is not enough. Put 2 cups of fruit. Double the fruit. It is so much better. Okay, so let me find my measure. Oh, here it is. What I had cornstarch in. Let me rinse that out. Okay. So I have a bag of, I was going to make it all peach. And I have a few peaches in here. But they were out, believe it or not, they're out at the store. Had everything but peaches. I'm like, really? When I decide I want it, it's out. So I'm going to make a peach and blueberry. The peach and blueberry is actually really yummy. So that's fine. So here's my peaches. Let's see how much I have of peaches. So I've thawed this a little bit. Well, I have almost 2 cups of peaches. Okay, so let's push that down. Oh, it's really only barely more than a cup. So this is going to work well. All right, so my hands are now sticky from those peaches, and I can't open this bag. So let me get my scissors. Now I can't open the bag. Okay, so this is blueberries. Also, I thawed them some. Oh, so pretty. Okay, here we go. Come on, get in there. To me, you almost can't put too much fruit. The fruit is the best part. Oh, it's so much the best part. Okay, so there's the blueberries. Look how good that's gonna be. Ooh, so yummy. So it's almost time for me to add, maybe not perfect time, vegetables to my pepper steak. Just about the time. Hold on here. I'm trying to get that back in that spot in the freezer where I had it. I want to go. There we go. Maybe. There. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and move it out of the way. I'm going to get my bowl. We're going to dump this fruit in the bowl. Peaches and blueberries. Oh, yeah. Doesn't that look good? And plus, this makes dessert that's good for you now because it's the fruit, right? Right? Fruit. Then I'm going to put the other half a cup of sugar on top of this fruit. Now, it tells you, the recipe tells you to sprinkle it on top of the pan, but I find it works better if you stir it. Because otherwise, the fruit doesn't actually get that sweet if it's not stirred around. It just doesn't. So let's take a spoon, coat, then let that sit there for a minute. And then we're going to dump all of that with the sugar into our dish, and this is going to be ready. But let me, real quick over here, since that's yelling at me, let me put this back up again. I don't know where my spoons went. That's what I had it propped up with. Here it is. I'm coming, just yelling at me. Here. Can you see a little bit? A little bit. Not very well. Okay, it's that pan in the back is where I'm going. There. So I'm going to turn the heat up again for a minute. So it, you know, gets really sizzling again. I lost some of my mashed potatoes over here. I'm going to take a chopped up green pepper, the rest of my chopped onion. Where are you, onion? I don't know. And the celery. Now, I have done this before. I've forgotten to buy celery, and I just leave it out, and it's perfectly fine. And it also tells you to put some tomatoes on top of this. I have never put tomatoes on this. You want tomatoes on it? Go ahead. I've never done that. I'm like, oh, I don't want tomatoes on it. I like tomatoes too, but I don't want them on this. So no, I don't do tomatoes. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, it calls for, what does it say? 2 tomatoes cut into wedges. Yeah, I don't do that. But if you want a couple of tomatoes wedged and put it in here, then you can add that too. So this is going to be like for 10 more minutes. Let's time that. So then we have the green pepper. Like I said, you can use green pepper, red pepper, both, any colored pepper, any kind of pepper, whatever you want. To use. So this is a green bell pepper that I have. And that's the whole pepper. It says a cup. I just cut up the whole pepper. And then it also said 2 stalks of celery. This is probably more than that. This is just a little package of celery. So it's kind of already chopped, you know. So if it's more, I'm not putting in the tomatoes, and I'm not putting in... What else was I not putting in? I don't know, but it'll be fine. So we're gonna all the vegetables in there now. And we're gonna cook all those for like 10 minutes. Simmer. Then you're going to have pepper steak. It's going to be so good. Maybe I should have put the celery in there longer. I don't know. It'll be nice and crispy. I think it'll soften. Alright, there you go. Put on my lid. Turn it down a little bit. Got it 10 more minutes going. So here, let's go back to our cobbler. Pour this in our pan, so you're going to just kind of glop it on top of, let me get the scraper. I'm going to kind of glop it on top of the batter here, and it has juice, and I put the juice in there. It's fine. Juice is good. Now I do try to put the fruit in the corners. Otherwise, you don't want, the corner pieces don't have fruit. Just get dough. I like the fruit. Now I scrape all of the juice, all of the sugar, everything in there needs to go in. Now remember, I doubled the fruit, but I did not double the amount of sugar I put on it, because I don't think it needs it. It's plenty with the amount of sugar already. So there you go. Look at that. Ugh. Double fruit. Double fruit. So then we're going to put that in the oven for 45 minutes. Oh yeah. And then, I'm pretty well done here. I'm going to go do my makeup. What time is it anyway? Okay, not bad. I'm not doing too bad. So let me set that. I want to set this timer. Let's set that timer, and then let's set this one for 45 minutes. And that might take longer than 45 minutes because I do have extra fruit in it. So I just come and look at it, and if the batter is done and all nice and toasty brown, then it's done. Alright, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Please join me again for makeup time. See you soon. Bye.